Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Denham town residents protest police fatal shooting on Wellington Street. More concerns about road safety. And in sports, Jamaica could still be one of the hosts for T20 World Cup. I'm Anthony Lugg. Here are the details. We begin with news of a protest in West Kingston where irate residents are up in arms following the shooting death of a citizen by police. The incident happened on Wellington Street yesterday. The deceased man has been identified as Nicholas Miller. According to reports, police chased a car into the area, which was believed to have been occupied by gunmen. Residents, including the deceased, whom we were told were sitting on an old refrigerator, scampered up on realizing the impending danger. The gunmen ran in different directions, and as police conducted their search, gunshots were heard.
When I hear some more shot now, I draw back in. Then I see the police run back from out of the yard. Him alone run come whisper him colleagues them there. And like him a signal to them say come now, like him want go away. So them not stand up, so the jeep where him run go to now reverse and come pick up the youth.
Carlos Miller was a good citizen in the community, working class. He surrendered and they killed him innocently. We need justice. If we don't protest loudly like this, our voices will not be heard. Me, now come stand up here and do this for no gunman. I have one innocent man make me do this. Yesterday, Mr. Miller was preventing 2 children by getting hurt and him end up losing life. We need justice. We need somebody for help. We can't make this sweep underneath the rug because of that gonna happen.
The police are expected to release a statement on the incident later today. The parliamentary opposition is this afternoon renewing its call for the Minister of Finance to state the full costs being borne by the government in the ongoing fraud investigations at Stocks and Securities Limited. Opposition spokesman on finance Julian Robinson says Dr. Nigel Clark should make public the cost to the government for engaging the forensic auditing firm Kroll Associates, the receiver manager, and any other expenditures being paid for in pursuit of the investigations. He's also calling for the disclosure of expenditures by the Financial Services Commission and the Financial Investigation Division. Mr. Robinson stressed that the opposition supports the efforts to ensure there is a thorough and complete investigation at SSL, but is concerned that there is no clear time frame for how long the government will have to shoulder these responsibilities, and is skeptical about the extent to which it can recover these expenditures at a later date. From Kingston in the east to Manchester and Clarendon in central parts of the island, the back-to-school period has not been without challenges and heartwarming stories. Dwayne Anderson has the details about the happenings at several schools across 3 parishes.
At the Mapen Primary School, spacing is an issue. It involves where to put students while they wait for classes. Students on the afternoon shift are especially affected. They usually congregate outside the school's gate while they wait for the morning shift to end.
We have regularized the approach to the school. We have had the new pedestrian crossing done up, thanks to the NWA and the management team. They have really delivered for us, and we are in talk with the municipal council to establish a safer zone as far as vending is concerned, so that we don't have too much of an intermingling of students with the business that may take place. And in the past, it has caused some of our students to have to walk into the road because of that. So we want to make sure that the sidewalk approaching the school is as clear.
The same issue persists at the Denby High School in the parish. The student population is outgrowing its physical infrastructure, leading to packed classrooms of 50 or more students per class in some instances. The acting principal, Jeffrey Douglas, says it's time to expand.
We decided to assist with a few transfers because there were genuine cases. And so we know that right now it's going to be a tight situation in terms of the number of students that we have per class. Maybe one of the greatest need right now is for a block, a block with maybe 8 classrooms, bathroom facilities, and office space, because we are growing and we have land space where we can put additional classrooms if we are able to get the help and the support.
Partnerships such as the one Calabar Infant and Primary School has with Scotiabank are what the school leaders in Clarendon say they need. The principal of the corporate area institution, Josette Leslie, highlighted the good results so far.
We just have a very low percentage having on pathway 3, but most of our children did very well. What we're extremely proud of is that our boys slightly did better than our girls this year. We do our business exclusively with the Bank of Nova Scotia, and this year we're really happy that we were chosen from 15 persons to have this wonderful. I think our children need to feel that they are loved and appreciated, and this affirmation is really setting them up for an awesome school year.
And in Manchester at the Troy High School, a young man with big dreams, Shamari Green, is gifted with a special wheelchair to help him move around the campus more easily. But that's not all the Rotary Club of Christiana did to ensure the young man is comfortable at his new school.
During the holiday, we had retrofit the restroom with a urinal and a proper toilet facility that he can use, using as a step-up system for the toilet.
Javon Keys, TVJ News.
Education Minister Favour Williams says the performance of students across the 2023 Caribbean Examination Council examinations is a testament to their academic strengths. Williams was speaking yesterday at a post-cabinet press briefing at Jamaica House when she said the ministry is encouraged by both the performance at the Caribbean Secondary Examination Certificate CSEC and Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Exam CAPE coming out of the pandemic.
We're seeing the better results relative to last year, which we applaud. We know that these students lived through the pandemic. They were in the virtual world quite a bit. They are the students of resilience, and we want to honor them for their diligence, for the work that they put in to be at this point in their educational journey.
It's a disaster waiting to happen. That's the concern of a Justice of the Peace in Brownstown, St. Anne, who has been trying to get the assistance from the Jamaica Public Service JPS for over a month. A JPS light post in close proximity to his family home is rotting at the root, leaving only a thin base and seems as though it will collapse anytime soon. More in this report.
It would be a disaster.
The man from Orange Street, otherwise called Tansy Corner, is upset that JPS has not responded to his plea to have the pole fixed or replaced. He said after he reported it as early as August 4, the utility company promised the issue would be rectified. However, as the root of the pole rots, he continues to hope that it will be dealt with as soon as possible.
I am scared any obstruction where the line can cause any disaster on this post, and it's right at my gate with my family.
Mr. Clark is wondering why his repeated reports have not been acted on.
Nobody came. I called them back on the 8th, and the person that answered apologized and said they are going to see to it that somebody come. On the 9th, somebody from JPS called me to get direction. I told them. And 2 weeks after nothing, when I called on the 15th, the person told me that a team is dispatched to deal with the pole.
And focusing on the wider community, he said there are over 50 houses on Orange Street. That's over 50 different families who would be affected if the pole collapses.
If you have given us your word for 1 to 6 hours, a team should be there. From the 4th of August, what type of administration do you have any follow-up to know if this has been done?
Efforts to get a response from the JPS were unsuccessful. And it's time for a break, but stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to Midday News and thanks for staying with us. We begin with a TVJ News follow-up. The coroner's inquest into the case of Jason Neal, which was scheduled to start today, was postponed until November 2 this year. The court heard today that the lead attorney in the matter, King's Counsel K.D. Knight, had requested the postponement as he would be involved in another court matter and would be unavailable. Presiding Judge Monique Harrison then bounded the jurors to the new date. Jason Neal was found dead at his home in Mandeville on December 4, 2018. It was then reported as suicide, but fresh evidence later has led to the need for a coroner's inquest. An urgent appeal this afternoon from the Road Safety Unit for increased caution on the nation roadways. It follows the death of an elderly man along the Runaway Bay Main Road in St. Anne on Wednesday. Details in this report.
The Runaway Bay Main Road is a common hotspot for motor vehicle crashes. A 79-year-old man is the latest victim. The incident happened Wednesday morning. The deceased has been identified as Leslie Roy Wright.
At 11:33 a.m., we received this call of a motor vehicle collision along the Runaway Bay Main Road. On arrival, we observed two vehicles that were involved in the accident.
A relative of the deceased described him as a peaceful person.
Very calm, a man who Discovery Bay and Runaway Bay knows him quite well, and as I said before, a man of God.
This latest fatality comes on the heels of renewed appeals for motorists to exercise caution on the road. As at September 4, 276 people died from 256 fatal crashes, an increase when compared to the same period last year. According to data from the Road Safety Unit, pedestrians account for 21% of the road users killed since the start of the year. Private motor vehicle drivers account for 17%. Private motor vehicle passengers account for 9%, while motorists account for 32% of the road users killed since the start of the year. Carrie Simpson, TVJ News.
And it's time now for the Business Minute.
Jamaican businesses are set to benefit from a range of opportunities in the Latin American market. Adtelligent is hosting the Keys to LATAM conference in Kingston today to share information with local and regional businesses about how to create these relationships. CEO of Adtelligent, Craig Powell, says there has to be a more collaborative effort to support the build-out of these growth opportunities.
We need to overcome this negativity through practical solutions and forward-thinking strategies. And if we all work together, private sector, individuals, large corporations, government, ministers, foreign ambassadors, Jamaica can win, and of course the press. So we're going to explore Latin American market as a land of opportunity, not an insurmountable challenge, because I've heard a lot that it's impossible. So we got to showcase Jamaican success stories in LATAM as a testament to the market's potential.
The Bank of Canada held its key overnight interest rate at 5%. The central bank on Wednesday noted that the economy has entered a period of weaker growth, but said it could raise borrowing costs again should inflationary pressures persist. The central bank hiked rates by a quarter point in both June and July. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Javon Keys.
Thank you, Javon. Time now for a look at the top regional and international stories.
In the region, an advocacy group for the LGBT community in Guyana is pushing to put an end to the country's buggery laws. The Society Against Sexual Orientation Discrimination has launched a campaign to increase public tolerance of gays and to convince both government and opposition to amend legislation that violates the human rights of its members. General Manager and founder Joel Simpson said he believes the next phase to be achieved over the next 2 years is to have those laws criminalized and then repealed. On the international scene, Mexico's Supreme Court has decriminalized abortion nationwide. The judgment comes 2 years after the court ruled in favor of a challenge to the existing law in the northern state of Coahuila. It had ruled that criminal penalties for terminating pregnancies were unconstitutional. Mexico's states and the federal government has since been slow to repeal penal codes. The new ruling legalizes abortion across all 32 states. And an Austrian couple on honeymoon is missing in Greece after torrential rains swept away the house they were staying in. Emergency services say they are searching for the couple and several other missing people. People in central Greece were trapped on the roofs of their houses after floods set whole villages underwater. More than a dozen people are now known to have died since Storm Daniel hit Greece, Turkey, and Bulgaria this week. And those are the top regional and international stories. I'm Carrie Simpson.
And we head now to a quick break. When we return, we'll have your midday sports report. Spencer Darlington is standing by.